lesson of Too Good for Drugs. I hope everybody's had a great week. It's saying it's continue to stay healthy and stay safe throughout these times, and we're in another lesson. Now, last week we talked about the effects of tobacco use and how the effects have on short-term effects and long-term effects. Now, some of the short-term effects were obvious ones: smelly breath, stinky clothes, yellow teeth. Now, the long-term effects can be deadly, as in heart disease, emphysema, and cancer. Now, today we're going to talk about a drug that has a lot of misperceptions, and there's a lot of myths going around about this drug. So today you all will figure out what is true and what is false about marijuana. Now, marijuana comes from a plant called cannabis sativa, and it contains over 400 chemicals. And one of those chemicals is tetrahydrocannabinol, and for short, which means THC. And THC causes users to become high. And also THC, one of the first effects it has on the body is bloodshot eyes. With the bloodshot eyes, with the THC, it expands the blood vessels in your eyes, which causes them to go red. Now, today we're going to do a little trivia game. And at home, you can guess true or false of the perceptions on marijuana. So here we go. First question, true or false? Raquel wanted to write a report on marijuana as a cure for cancer. She was having difficulty finding legitimate sources. When she found a legitimate source online, she was surprised at what she learned. So true or false? Marijuana is a cure for cancer. And the answer to that is false. There is no cure for cancer yet. But one extract from marijuana plant is medically to reduce nausea and pain for cancer patients and AIDS patients. So it doesn't cure the cancer, of course, but it does help reduce the pain. So it's not a cure for cancer. Next true or false statement. At a local middle school, police confiscated a stash of marijuana from someone's locker. The forensic lab determined marijuana was laced with other chemical substance. So true or false? Street marijuana is pure and contains no other substance or drugs. And the answer to that is false. Now, marijuana dealers often lace the drug with other substances, such as bug spray, cocaine, and meth. And dealers do not tell the buyers that it's laced. And most users who use marijuana justify saying, hey, at least I don't use really bad drugs. So the answer to that statement is false. Now, next statement. Sean knows a girl that he likes will be at tonight's party. He decided to impress her with his humor. Unfortunately, he got high before the party and couldn't remember his jokes and made a fool of himself. So true or false? Marijuana makes users forgetful. And the answer to that is true. Now, the mind-altering substance in marijuana called THC connects to the receptors in the brain that affects memory. And during the high, and for weeks afterward, the user will have difficulty recalling information stored in the short-term memory. So the answer to that is true. Next, advocates who want marijuana to be legalized often claim that marijuana is not addictive. And the answer to that is false. Now, addiction, remember, can be physical or psychological. Occasional users may not have a chemical dependency on the drug, but psychologically they feel they need to be high. And chronic everyday users, however, will develop a chemical dependency to THC. And chronic users experience withdrawal symptoms. And most teenagers who are in rehab are for alcohol and marijuana addiction. So the answer to that is false. Now, next statement. Laura was driving her sister Felicia and her friend to a movie. As they were getting to the car, Laura admitted that she had smoked marijuana, but no worries. She was fine to drive. So true or false? Marijuana does not affect the driving abilities. And the answer to that is false. Now, marijuana use impairs driving performance, including reaction time, depth perception, concentration, and coordination. Now, think of an activity that you would need fast reaction time, such as sports, even video games. With marijuana, it slows down reaction time, so you can't react as fast as you want. Now with depth perception is, seeing how close or how far away something is. And marijuana affects depth perception. And think of all the activities you use for depth perception, such as driving, sports, or just everyday life things as walking. It can affect that. So the answer to that is false. Next statement. Marijuana contains a mind-altering substance which causes brain damage from regular use. And the answer to that is true. Now, when people use marijuana, like alcohol, it impairs the brain. And the teenage brain is still developing. And so marijuana will cause brain damage that has a brain that's still under construction. So the answer to that is true. Now, last one. Josie used to be the best gymnast on the balance beam. Recently, she had trouble concentrating on her routine and keeping her balance. So true or false? Marijuana use impairs concentration and balance. So the answer to that is obviously true. Now, the mind-altering substance in marijuana blocks receptors of the brain that regulate concentration and balance. Now, we talked about why marijuana use is unhealthy and how it can keep you from reaching your goals. Now, marijuana is an illegal substance because of the harm and it can cause. And it is a federal offense to purchase, grow, and carry and use marijuana in most states. However, scientists have discovered that some THC effects can be useful in preventing and treating nausea and pain, despite the risk of the harm from using the drug. Therefore, in some states, under specific guidance and licensed medical professionals and dispensed from an approved dispensary, marijuana use and limit possession is legal under state law in some states. However, the research and debate still continues. Even if marijuana was completely legal for recreational use, it's something that you shouldn't put in your body. And just like tobacco and alcohol, the risk of marijuana usage are significant. And the harm to your body is real. So being drug-free will help you accomplish your goals in life and just help you be a better person. So next week, we will talk about the effects of inhalants and street drugs.